which has been organized principally by Daniel Benjamin and Eric Sneathen. Daniel is what they call here in the bureaucracy at UC Berkeley an advanced PhD candidate. That means he's about to finish his dissertation. Eric Sneathen is an advanced PhD candidate at UC Santa Cruz, so a sister institution which is co-sponsoring this incredible conference. The other person who is involved at my level of sub-organizer is Chen, longtime friend and a member of the faculty of the literature department at UC Santa Cruz. This conference has been many, many months in the making, almost a year and a half. It was initiated by Daniel Benjamin and Eric Sneathen, and they have done an enormous amount of work, as every one of you who's presenting on a panel, and as some of you who are just here for the fun of it will know. So I want to start the conference, now that I've said welcome, by giving them especially a big applause. Okay, we've embarrassed them suitably. So I think that Chen wants to say a few words, and then we'll turn the conference over to the able management of Daniel and Eric, who each want to say a few words. And they'll direct you to where the opening sessions of the conference are. So truly welcome to all of you. It's an honor to have you all here. Tris?
I'm Chris. My remarks here are going to be a little brief. I wanted to thank, at UC Santa Cruz, the Pucknott Fellowship, some of our sponsors, the Living Writers Series, and the UC Santa Cruz Literature Department for helping to make this possible, for co-sponsoring these events. There was an event on Tuesday at Santa Cruz, a symposium on the work of Renee Gladman. That was great. That went really well. And I want to actually just kind of introduce Eric and Daniel. So Eric Sneathen is a Sagittarius who splits his time between Oakland and UC Santa Cruz, where he's a PhD student in literature. His poetry has been published by Mondo, Bummer, Faggot Journal, Elderly, and PQ, and his first collection, Snail Poems, was published by Krupskaya, a local press. He edits a number of local publishing projects, including Macaroni Necklace, Heathens, and Gossip and Scandal, a chapbook series featuring interviews and new work by Bay Area writers. With Daniel Benjamin, he co-edited The Bigness of Things, New Narrative and Visual Culture. Daniel Benjamin is a PhD candidate here in English and Critical Theory. His dissertation on Lyrics Universals, How Poetry Says We, considers minoritarian versions of universality in lyric poetry. With Eric Sneathen, he's co-editor of The Bigness of Things from Wolfman Books, and with Claire Marie Stanchek, he is the co-editor of Active Aesthetics, Contemporary Australian Poetry, out from Tumba, Giramondo in 2016. So please welcome to the stage Eric and Daniel.
Welcome all. This is my moment just to have some improvised sentimentality. It's just really lovely to have you all here and to be starting late because people are so excited just to see one another and fill out their names on these name tags. Just a really great way to start this conference. We called it Communal Presence, yes, as a take on Communal Nude, of course, but also just to see all of us in one room together is a real treat and an honor. And I just feel so kind of overwhelmed by that right now. So thank you for being here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. echoing everything Eric said. Thank you all. Okay, so over the next 2 days, we will hear over 75 presentations from new narrative writers, writers following their tradition, and scholars studying this work. We're delighted to see the breadth of engagements, and we're excited about the rich future of research we know we can now expect. When we first conceived of this conference, we wanted an event that honored new narrative in its own spirit. So in addition to the academic side that we'll be mostly seeing here today and tomorrow, over the next few days continuing to Sunday, we're happy to be presenting 3 readings, an evening of Poets Theatre, an art exhibit at the Royal Nonsuch Gallery, a film program at the Roxy Theatre, and finally a walking tour of San Francisco sponsored by Small Press Traffic. Yeah. Details of all of these are in the printed program, which is available if you haven't got one yet down the hall, and on our website.
Oh, great. We'll do the next one. The book room. All right. Our book room is supported by Wolfman Books, and they are around the corner to the left, so out that way, room 306. Please stop by and check out what they have. They will be open during breaks at the reading tonight in Oakland and back here tomorrow as well.
Bathrooms are down the hall right by registration, and they're on every floor in that same position. There's a gender-neutral bathroom on every floor. And yeah, if you didn't get to check in your registration, please do so. We'll also be having lunch in there, breakfast tomorrow, lunch tomorrow, and dinner tomorrow as well. We want to say a bunch of thank yous now. First, thanks to our volunteers and staff who are helping us put this on. Joe Albernaz, Elliot De Silva, Leo Dunsker, Jane Gregory, Claire Marie Stanchuk, David Swenson, and Mary Wilson. They all have support on their name tags. And please ask them any questions about Wheeler or about anything, and also ask us.
All right. We also want to thank the sponsors who made this event possible. They are listed at the top of your program, and they are the UC Humanities Research Institute, the Townsend Center for the Humanities, the Endowed Chairs of the English Department, the Poetry and Poetics Working Group, and the Poetry Colloquium. We also want to thank Jo Marie Cedro and Jennifer Holland in the English Department for administrative support for the conference. We especially want to thank Lyn Hejinian and Chen for supporting us through this process and helping us pull off this event. It really was over a year that we've been working on this, and thank you to both of you.
And we also want to thank our community sponsors outside the English Department of the University. So at the Bancroft Library, just down the street, where we'll be hosting a pop-up exhibit at lunchtime today. The Berkeley Art Museum, where we'll be having Poets Theatre, and where we've had a number of readings over the previous weeks. Small Press Traffic, of course, the Roxy Theatre, the Royal Nonsuch Gallery, and Wolfman Books, and more thank yous will come later. So, logistics. We are now, having been gathered all together, we are now going to divide into 3. In this room will be new narrative subjects. Around the corner, at the opposite corner, in 300 will be, room 300 will be writing portraits, and downstairs in 222 will be narrating community. We'll be gathering back here all together at 11 for a plenary on Writers Who Love Too Much, the wonderful anthology that Kevin Killian and Dodie Balmy edited. And then we'll be having lunch, so break. Yeah.
And welcome.
You're welcome.